Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough on the room and kind of show you some of the new fry that are going on and how the Discus are doing, alright?
The red Discus are doing well. So the Discus are going through a Prozzie treatment right now, because I know it's a little bit of spitting going on. So gill flukes, and it might have came in from this guy here. But, so I treated all my Discus with Prozzie. So right now they're all in a Prozzie treatment, and it'll be 7 days Prozzie, 10 days off, and then 10 days Prozzie. And I might extend that first one to 10 days, I'm not sure. But these guys are in the Prozzie too. So one thing about the Prozzie is it's pretty mild, but these guys are doing well on it. And then these guys are breeding up too. So they've been picking at the cone, and they kind of are just in this bonding stage right now. So they're bonding, and they tend to bond more in the evening than in the morning. So in the morning they kind of just want to eat. And then at night, they don't lose interest in food, but their main goal at night is to bond, and they pick that cone, and now they're starting to dip a little towards each other, so pretty exciting. So that's my 25% wild, and that's a domestic, 25% wild, domestic. So trying to keep the color in them, but get some of that wild gene in them. Now these guys down here are in a Prozzie. These are the wilds, and I don't want to get too close to them because they are going through, they're kind of taking this Prozzie a little bit more because they're dropping some stuff out, and I'm not sure what it is, so I'm just going to let them ride. But I've told you these wilds tend to carry a little bit more of the parasite in them, but do well with it. So the medication is affecting them a little bit more. This morning they were pretty dark, so I did a small water change and then reapplied the Prozzie, and they perked right up, and they actually ate this morning, so they're good. And these two have kind of paired up, but we'll see. And then I got these two over here, so these two are kind of tucked back right now. They come out every now and then, but they are taking it a little bit tougher, so that's, I'm kind of wondering if tapeworms aren't in those fish, so we'll see. We're going to keep an eye on those. So this is the grow out tank for all the 4 tanks for 4,000 right here, these 4 tanks. So there is the dwarf coral, which I've already sold some of those, platy, the swordtail, which I guess these are tough to breed as far as pulling fries, so I'm not sure on these how I'm going to do these yet. I put some cover in there, so we'll see. And then these are the yellow cell fins that are throwing more of a calico. That's okay, because I'm sure I'll still get some of those. And then these are my hardy guppies that I kind of let get disease a couple times and cure themselves with salt. And I did treat one treatment of Alabama salt after about a year. And then, so these will be a project that'll go on and on. But people love these because then I get a lot of these red ones. I'm trying to get rid of the derpiness and get them a little bit quicker. So putting that heavy water flow in there helps, but just picking out the least vintage as far as slowing the fish down. So I want to speed the fish up a little bit and keep the color. So I might lose color, but I'll get that back over time. So I have in here the Gary Lang Rainbow. And then I've been working on genetics and trying to figure out this genetics thing, and I think I finally got a little bit of headway as far as leucistic to albino to leucistic, and then I believe these are some platinum crebensis that I've finally gotten out, so we'll see. And then you can see those are the kind of the koi cell fins, so these pair drop those. And then there's a bunch of stir-by fry in there. There's a little stir-bys. They hide really well. There's about 8 or 10 of them in here. And so these, and then there's a dwarf coral. So I kind of just throw them in here in this 90 gallon or this 75 gallon to grow out. And then I'll start picking these out to the store. And, oh, there's a Gary Lang kind of showing the tail. So that's good. Grow slow. They grow a little bit quicker in these bigger tanks. Okay. And then the fry tray. So I'm not going to disturb these guys, but there's about 30 stir-by in this one, about 30 stir-by in this one, and this one just hatched. And you can see they have a little bit, and there's probably about 25 to 30 in this one. So they get about 30 per hatch. And the dates are 4/16, 4/11, 4/5. Okay, let's look at the black ram fry. So these guys are just about a month. I think they'll be a month tomorrow from laying the eggs. So I counted the other day about 60 blacks and probably about 50 golds. So we'll see. A lot of water changes. I do at least 5 gallons a day on this 20 gallon, but I feed 4 or 5 times, and now I'm feeding baby brine shrimp, a mixture of spirulina powder, ceramicron, and then crushed up discus pellets. And they're growing pretty good. So we'll see. What's nice about these rams is they'll be ready for a market in about 2 months. So they grow pretty quick from here on out. And then the parents have dropped more eggs. You see the male is on those eggs. And there's a few hundred more in there. A couple hundred at least, but probably a few hundred. There's a lot. So try not to disturb them. Just leave them in this dark water and they kind of do their thing. So they did have a second hatch after those first hatch and they didn't make it. There was only about 20 fry in there, so they turned and ate those fry. So anytime they're going to have a small hatch like that, they're probably going to turn on those fry and use those for protein. But the female, eats those, and then she can produce high volumes of eggs. So they try to produce a lot of fry, and they tend to take care of them better when there's more fry. So these are some more of the Gary Lang grow outs. And I use these as dithers to keep these guys protecting their fry and eggs. So I put them right next to them. This is another 20. But there's also regular Plecos in there and a couple super reds and a bunch of shrimp. And kind of just let this tank go. I don't really try, I change water 50% once a week on it, but I don't clean up the mulm. I let the mulm stay in there. The Plecos seem to like that. L134, which are all caved up. There's a male right there. And then the L397, they're still young. Okay? And then this is kind of my kids' tank. I keep the Gary Lang rainbows. You can see females are pretty striking, but the male, he just lost all his color from the morning spawn. So he's a little wore out. And then, so then there's just a mixture of Plecos in here. They're bushy nose. They are the super reds, regulars. I got clown Plecos. I have albinos. And the female crebensis is back there. She is the one that has thrown those leucistics and the platinums. So I got rid of the male. So I'll cross her back with those platinums and see what comes out of that. So they're not quite pairing up yet, but they all look really good. And these guys are going through the Prozzie too, because what I've noticed is a little bit of spitting going on. So they're kind of, when they spit like that, usually sign of gill flukes on. That's not 100%. But since I'm treating the wilds, I figured I would just treat my whole room with Prozzie. Prozzie's really gentle on the fish, so you don't really see any issues. And it just tends to clean out a lot of like flatworms and roundworms, anything that's potentially. So it's a good treatment. Now there's a lot of people that say they want to treat with the metronidazole and the Prozzie together. I tend not to do that. I find that it's more effective if you separate it. But more time consuming, but I'm not in a hurry anyway. So in this video I've talked about the 4 tanks for $4,000, and these are the 4 tanks behind me. If you want to know more about that, how I'm doing that, and what the actual process is going to be like, watch this video here. February 14th to February 14th, 2022 to 2023. So we will see how close I get. Right now I'm about $40, but I have this tank right here that is all full of those fish that will be going to the store soon. So watch this video. All right, take care, guys.